Hey, to my warriors, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Coppertop Cannoneers. And last time, well, we made money. We made a lot of money. We also lost a Nifrit, which is annoying, but we have most of the parts to a Shieldtron, so fingers crossed we'll find another one and we'll random out into it. Mario Party ruins friendships, it has been said. Yeah, I can see that. Although, when I was a kid, Trivial Pursuit. We had Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, and I dominated at that game, but then it could cause problems at times. But like, oh, I loved Star Wars so much, and I knew all the obscure crap. There's one ending question that, like, who are the two Y-Wing pilots who are alongside the survivor of Goldwing after Darth Vader kills, and it's Tyree and it's Hutch, because the guy says, we lost Tyree, we lost Hutch, they came from behind. It's one of my favorite lines in the whole thing. So, make a tutorial for friends so hard or embarrassing them thoroughly when teaching is a form of gatekeeping for me. I'm very much, I think. All my friends refuse to play Star Wars Trivial Pursuit with me. Trivial Pursuit in general is just weird. If you can run a lathe and are willing to leave New York, we can talk. Oh, I was learning how to run a lathe. CNC lathes are both some of the most amazing and terrifying machines that you can ever work on. Like, a normal CNC machine, it's like, the thing that you're moving is the tool. And the tool is on average not that big. Like, at most, we're talking like a foot long. It's not that heavy. If you do something wrong with the tool, it's gonna sound really bad. You may damage the head, but like, you're safe. But a lathe is spinning the part. Like a CNC lathe is spinning like a huge part. And you're coming in with the tool to take little pieces off. And I remember there was this one guy at the shop who was kind of like training me. He took me in when I started doing the inspection stuff, and he did all that. He used to work at another machine shop, and he said, yeah, once the chuck gave way and it sent this part just careening out of the machine and through the wall. It was amazing. If you're running my house, you better know code. I know some machine code. I would not be a good pick for this. Oh, apparently we're working for Slanesh today. Got a Maxim, boring. Also picked up a Hollander. Oh, of course, this is a simple, easy mission. And a carrier with multiple ballistic slots, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to move the Ifrit. I'm just going to chill. It looks like it'll be a simple, straightforward murdification. Raspberry Pi flavored mix. Putting boss on payroll. No, I don't think the offer was open towards me. Besides, I wouldn't be able to hack it. My training was in a different field for that. It wasn't even really training. It was you pick it up as you go along. Which is interesting, but it does leave gaps in what you know. So that's one of the reasons why I was eventually moved into inspections, because like very detail oriented, very good at measuring stuff like that. So it was a great experience. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Very fulfilling work when you can like look at something and say, yeah, I helped make that. I helped bring that to fruition. You start with this blank slug. Well, not a slug. The slugs are removed, but you start with this blank piece of metal and like you watch it get shaped into cool things. And then you go in and you meticulously measure every little piece of it. And you record that down. And you look at that part and you know this part is going to go somewhere important. It's going to do something. It's going to do work. And I'm the one who made sure that it is good enough to do work. Working in manufacturing can give you a really strong sense of pride for what it is you're doing. Earned or not, but... you're running my... so I have a lathe that is laser guided and 2 CNCs plus other fun stuff. Wow. We had none of like the special measuring stuff on the machine. Like you had to do that all on your own. I'm my QC guy. If someone screws up and misses it, then it's on me. Yep. That is actually, so that's one of the really intimidating things when you first start doing like quality control and inspection. Because like if they don't do it right, then you have to walk to the boss and you're like, yeah, okay, so these measurements, they're all out of tolerance. And not like a little bit out of tolerance. And then things kind of go from there, and you figure out just exactly how important this was. There was actually this one, we were doing work for this one place, and like, the guys could not hold a tolerance on it for some reason. I do not know why, but it was always coming in wrong. Actually, no, I know why it was coming in wrong, but it was still kind of annoying. And so we'd eventually, I would have to go through the report, marking off all of the things that were just not in tolerance. And I had to go to the boss and say, this is all the stuff that's not there. And the immediate response is, yep, we'll give them a call, but they're going to pass it anyway. Because like the tolerances they set were incredibly fine, but they didn't need to be fine. And so we could come back to them with like 10th hour out, and they'd be like, oh, whatever. It's like, okay, so why not like allow us to put in like real world tolerances instead of your little fantasy engineering world tolerances? Why is that intimidating? If it's out of tolerance, I didn't do my job in hiring. So the reason why that's intimidating, and I don't necessarily know how it works at your shop, but the reason why it was intimidating is because you're going to the boss and you're telling him news that he doesn't want to hear. Like, that doesn't stop you from doing it, but you always get, for me, when I first started doing that, because when it was on the machine, I mean, that was on me. Like, I knew, but this was not me doing the part. This was me double checking a part. And so you're going to a boss and you're saying, yeah, it's gone through every single step in the process. Everybody fucked up, and it finally got to me and I stopped it. And which is a very valuable thing, and most bosses will accept that, no problem. But when you're the one going to the boss saying that $500,000 part is scrap, like that, you kind of get this feeling in the back of your throat that's like, oh, fuck. And like you double and then you triple and then you quadruple check because you want to make damn sure that when you come to the boss that you're telling him the right thing. Because I have screwed that up before. I have like gone in and measured something wrong, but because I always make sure that if I'm working on something like that if I get a wrong measurement, I try and grab someone else and say, hey, can you double check my double check? So that has led to some interesting things before. So that teacher learned and taught a real valuable lesson. My favorite shop failure was in high school when the teacher was trying to show people how to use the table saw. He took his hardwood to point something out, forgetting he was holding on the wood with that hand and ended up nailing himself with the wood. Yup. So I write code for a living, and my experiences, in contrast to yours, I can't point out what I build, put it on a table and show it to people. It's an abstraction. It has no tangible properties other than, the other hand, can't fall on anyone kill. Yeah, but so code is a really fascinating thing because you are constructing the concept of a world. Like the way that $500,000 what we were working on, I don't think military parts cost that much money. There were some parts that were using very specialty metals that require like explosive cladding and stuff like that could be very expensive, especially when we were looking at much larger parts. This was not like a precision machine shop for most of the stuff, but like we would be working on huge parts with like melded metals, which is really cool actually. But yeah, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, so the thing about coding is you're creating literally a universe that obeys the rules that you set. You are literally God of this world because the machine is going to follow exactly what you told it to do, which is why coding is also so incredibly cool because like you're not just making something, you are creating the world in which this something like exists within. And that is just like so incredibly beautiful to me. It's one of the reasons why I kind of regret that I never like picked up like real coding for that way, because like the stuff that you can do with coding is so cool. Your QC job, scrapping a 500,000 part may fail. Yeah, I understand that. And the further you get into that job, the more you realize how that goes. But I'm talking like from the initial time when you're told, hey, you're now going to be working on quality control, and this is what you need to tell me. And like that initial feeling that, at least for me, that I got was intimidating because I'm telling people stuff that they do not want to hear, that is going to be very expensive, that is going to make some people in the shop mad at me because I had to question their work and say that it wasn't good enough. Like the shop that I worked at was kind of a little bit of a shop of misfit toys that was managed very excellently by a plant manager who understood how to work within the various personalities that came out of it. So, but yeah, it's that's just the way that I can welcome, brother. By the way, why is my name not at the top of the screen? That is a good question. I think Orlando sent it last time, so I think it's just the last one. Or I like to do. We're actually going to go to the BattleTech where we should have been, and we're here. I wonder if it actually updates only when I swap screens. It might. We'll have to check out with that. All right, back to the things. Sorry, we have been talking about like stuff that most of the people are just not going to care about. But yeah, the further you get into the job, the more comfortable you get, and the more you kind of like it really clicks exactly what's going on, and the reason why you shouldn't feel intimidated when walking up there, and you've become very confident and very comfortable in doing that because. At least for me, it finally clicked in my head exactly what my role in the machine of creating things was. So, and so my initial the initial way in which I interacted with it was the incorrect way, and it was viewing it as if I were stopping progress, and that's not what it was. I am ensuring excellence, which was the way that you had to think about it. And when you're first starting and your direction is rather loose, it can be a little bit difficult to get that. But production lines can be really cool. For me, it's Falcon production. Nice. Plus, I have an additional 5.8 bits from your 10,000 I started high already. Yeah, by the time I had gotten really comfortable with it, and it was very interesting. Because like when you get to that point, you get a lot of freedom because you are now the quality control expert. You are the one who knows what needs to be checked and what doesn't. You're the one who comes up with the process of creating various inspection sheets, and like you suddenly find that you have a lot more leeway in a job like that than you had as a machine operator, because you are now a subject matter expert of a sort, which is really cool. Gonna be demonized for this France. Fuck the guys who can't do the job. If I'm paying a welder or machinist $30 an hour to get it right, if not, you don't care if it's in dollars, I don't need. Every so often it comes out wrong. Like, people make mistakes. But yeah, that's the attitude you come to. Well, not quite, for me, not quite that attitude. I wouldn't, because I was friends with a lot of these guys. So I wouldn't come with the attitude of, fuck them, but it would be more of the attitude of, this mistake was caused by either a lapse in judgment or a mistake in tools or even sometimes problems in programming. And this is going to save you in the long run. And you're going to learn from this. So, which, yeah. It's weird. I understand that it's not like the normal way in which you get used to the way that shops are run, because the shop that I worked at was very much not a traditional shop in the way of things. I mean, I don't think most shops will have you literally start from sweeping floors and eventually be doing quality control. Like, I don't think that really happens so much anymore. I think they normally hire like college kids who are already going for an engineering program rather than whatever the hell I was doing. It helps open your eyes to a very interesting view of the world too. I very much appreciated my time working at that shop, because it gave me a lot of personal confidence, and it gave me a better understanding of the mechanical way in which the world works together with itself. Like QC had, you can't have friends, you're the last. I disagree entirely. You have to have friends as QC, because you have to be able to. It's not an adversarial relationship. Like the difference between quality control and the guys who are actually programming and doing the machining, it cannot be adversarial. Because if it's adversarial, now people are trying to hide things from you. Now people are trying to just sort of screw with each other. It's got to be a very cooperative thing that is helping to grow. Part of my business builds frames for cars that run on a track. You mess up, etc. Something like that. I mean, it gets caught though. So that's the thing. Like, I don't necessarily know how to explain it in a way that I think would mesh with your view of a shop, because you work in a different industry, or a different, I suppose, higher caliber version of the industry than I did. Like, the stuff that we didn't run on tracks. Like, some of it would be military contracts, but it didn't run on tracks. So it would be caught in quality control. We wouldn't put out a bad part, but occasionally mistakes would happen. And I found that it worked out much better for me if the relationship was cooperative, so that everybody understood the problem and was able to work the problem and figure out why did the mistake occur and how to resolve it for the future. Because some of these guys had 30, 40 years experience, and why would a person with 30, 40 years experience make a mistake? There's got to be a reason for that. There's got to be a process problem with that. And so you use that to help analyze the process and resolve the problem. You're the last step. Just make sure everybody has done their job properly. Okay, I've called. You save lives. But yeah, that's the way that I experienced it is all. And I don't mean to try and force the way in which the shop that I worked at on anybody else. Like, clearly, like, you have much higher bars to clear, which is much more important. And I can understand that. Oof, good shot. Used to be in machine tool holding and working systems. Precision was the name of the game, so you can understand the process of QA and testing. And sometimes it happens in the shop where they don't know what and they find a way to fix it. Yep. And especially with new work, when new work comes in and the guys are tuning the machines, trying to get the most out of them and figure out how to avoid certain resonances and that sort of stuff. Like that's the part where like QC and the machinists like really dig in together, because then we the way in which a problem occurs helps tell me why the problem happened at all. If that makes any sense. But back in the day, I did welding on tank plates. I get it. If my guys aren't doing the job, you are, or would be my safe job. Yep. And it's a symbiotic relationship. And yeah, we're all happy when everything's going together, but sometimes things are not going together. And we got to work the problem rather than get angry about it. I was stupid when I was a young dumb kid. When I first started getting fully into this, I was like amazed by things. Wow. No. It's a fascinating experience. The Book of QA is written in blood. I mean, yeah, there's I think it's a Canadian institute where, or it might be American, where there was a bridge collapse, and the graduating class of their engineering program is given a ring that is made from the iron of that collapsed bridge as a reminder. So it's important for any business to have a culture that encourages continuous improvement in QC that requires some maturity and willingness to discuss problems and mistakes. Yep. When a company expects new products to go at the same rate as old stuff, then no one has a good pattern to do it quickly. They need more time, but time not given. We'll send you an email address to send me your resume. I appreciate that, but I don't think I'm going to be appropriate for what it is you do. Like, I think I would worry working in a machine shop ever again, because I'm not certain. Because the shop that I worked at, like I said, was very different from what is the normal. So there would be holes in my knowledge of things. And especially with the intensity that what you work on, I'm not sure that would jive right. I think you'd want someone a little bit more clever. Mind you, if you work with me, I get my own. Well, you already got your own mech. Excel of QC is someone from the shop that evolved in a position, but I found the QC with new people trying to work together. One of the big problems is a lot of QC people are actually like engineers, and engineers don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to the sort of industrial machining that my shop was heavily involved in. Like, they ask for tolerances that are ridiculous. They ask for thread depths that are pointless. Like, a lot of engineers that are new kind of don't know what they're doing. Like, they have the theoretical knowledge, but they don't have the practicality to back it up, which is one of the reasons why. So the shop that I keep saying the shop that I worked at, but I have to I can't say the name. But the shop that I worked at, we had like an internship program almost. Like, we would hire from the local college anyone who was in the engineering program, and we were like, okay, we're going to give you the practical experience on the ground so that when you go to become an engineer, you're going to know your stuff. You're not going to get confused by why X, Y, or Z is not the way that you think it is. I do a lot of things, and you are trainable. So it gets thrown out for practical. Some tolerances are impossible, and some things are pointless to include. Yeah, thread depths was a huge one with one company. They're like, it was like, they wanted like 2.5 inches or 3 inches of thread depth, and it's like, past 4 turns, you've got 80% of your rigidity. What the hell are you doing that needs that deep of a depth? And they refused to change it on the print. And you can't just ignore the print. You have to go by the print when you're doing QC. But the thing is, every time we would come to them and say, hey, we have a 1.5 inch depth of thread. That is more than enough. Is that acceptable? And they'd come back and say yes. And then we'd say, okay, would you mind changing the print? Like, no. It has to be that. And of course, every single time it wouldn't be that, because you can't go that deep because it would snap taps all the time. And that massively increases the time that you're taking, because now you got to drill out taps. Now you got to be super careful. Now you can't just have a machine run. Now you've got to have somebody like actively watching exactly what's going on in order to hopefully have the off chance of being there at the exact moment to stop or slow down or do whatever. Oh. But they refused to change it because they were engineers and they didn't know that you don't need that. AutoCAD says it will fit, but 2 inches is too high. It's interesting to get you kidding me. It was your mistake. Oh. Yeah. And it was always amusing and exasperating, because like every time I then have to go back and be like, yep. It's like, how is it? Oh, it's exactly what we designed it for, because what they've given us the okay for. But because they won't change the print, I can't change the print, because that's not my job. I can't do that. Like, QC can't ever change a print. You can't do that because QC needs to check against the print. And if QC starts saying that I get to make up what's on the print, you can have problems that run away from you really quickly. So it was a lot of fun. God, I am just chatting. I'm not even playing games. What the hell? Oh God, that was a mistake. I shouldn't be this close. Dad goes over prints to make sure everything is labeled correctly and show you the correct measurement. Yeah. I love it when they're just bouncing between fractions and decimals. It's like, really, guys? Can you just pick one and stick with it? We want 10th tolerance, but we're going to label everything in fractions. Then we're going to have an explicit call out saying that this needs to be within a tolerance of plus or minus 15. But at the bottom of the sheet for the general rules, we're going to say that all fractions are plus or minus a half. It's like, what? Oh, those are the fun ones. There goes the prints to make sure that everything is labeled correct. Yeah, on Twitch, gamers are just an excuse to chat. I suppose. The kids were not talking about grade 8 hardness and why we needed our launch system facilities. A long time ago, aluminum body fire trucks. Engineering finally gave me the carte blanche to modify it as needed and make notes. Nice. Also fun when they don't use the same plane reference and start taking measurements from whatever the face is convenient. Oh God. We had one company who could not get it through their head. Like sometimes they were measuring off the side, which you can't do because the part that they were getting was plasma burned to cut it out, and then it would come to us for machining, and like you can't center off an edge if it's been burned like that, right? Because the burn is going to be inconsistent. You've got to center from a center that you pick. You've got to pick a center line, which creates that. But they kept going off an edge, and it's like, that edge is not going to be consistent. It's going to change all the time. Every single part is going to be different. Just let us do our job, please. You end up realizing that, like, the world is not quite as well put together as you always imagined it to be. I think that's probably actually the biggest thing that I think that I took away from working in a machine shop. The world is measured within tolerance. And, like, you don't think about that in your daily life. Things just fit together. They just work. But, like, things fit-ish. There's always a bit of slop. Like, nothing is ever 100% precise. Nothing can be. It is physically impossible for a perfect fit. Even in the most intensely accurate things, you can have an effectively perfect, but you will never have perfect. And you view the world very differently once you finally let go and accept that fact. Oh, I sound so up my own ass speaking like this. I apologize. Stick with Imperial. I like Imperial. I love working in Imperial. Why? Because there's this one company that we were doing parts for who had both. The outer dimensions were measured in Imperial, and then the tube pattern was measured in metric. And that was a fun day. It's like a glove doesn't really... I mean, it will fit like a glove, but what is the tolerance of your glove? But with fractions and inches instead of nice spread at hundreds and decimals. Yes, please, please. It's so much easier to read and so much easier to... I understand that, like, grizzled machinist isn't going to care. He's just going to look at that. He's going to know that 1/8 is 125. And he's just going to move on from there. But, like, it's an annoying thing. It's, like, not hard, but it's annoying. Don't say it's live the stream. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Twitch and chill. Maybe not. Maybe not for me, but I encourage you guys to have a good time. We got to get this effort somewhere that does not get it blown up. I mean, that might actually work. These kind of suck. Who's the actual threat on here? I haven't even really spent much attention on that. You have a broken ballistic, which probably means you're an RX. Are you the super berserker with the rack 20? I don't think so. Pardon me, AC-10 carrier is messed up. You have a machine gun and 2 small lasers. You're not a threat at all. You have a broken MML3. Yeah, it's really the Hollander. So, can I get a 4? I will accept a 4. Because you're not dangerous, right? You're Centurion A2. Oh, no, you are actually pretty dangerous. Never mind. Okay. I see you now. Booster on, let's see how far we can get. Who's actually like, why I think that's... Oh, thank you. Tears prophecy control. Having software too, mismatched characters and metrics are the bane of all disciplines. Just here chilling, reworking my Pathfinder character, retraining is a pain. Oof. We're gonna target you with a 56%. The EU Mars lander, the pancake to Mars, yeah. Well, because they forgot to make the change. Ooh, there was somebody who was beating their head against a wall in a hallway after that incident. I 110% guarantee you. Somebody was sitting in a wall, one of those brick walls with the painting over it, and just beating his head on the wall when he finally realized what was going on. I was like, God damn it. And the reason why I know that is because I've done that. I have put out very few bad parts before, but it did happen once. And the reason it happened was understandable, but not acceptable. Like, we learned from the problem and how to fix it from then on, but it is never acceptable, especially for the, like, it's not acceptable for any bad parts to come out of the machine. That's not acceptable. But like for QC, you don't do that, because that puts a black mark on the entire company when you do that. Because I mean, as E1 keeps mentioning, like, you are the final check, and if it gets by you, holy shit, are you in trouble? And like, a good boss is not gonna like rip off your neck and scream down your throat. He's gonna teach the moment and work through the moment. But like, you feel like abject trash when that happens. And I've been there where I walked into a hallway and I just beat my head against the wall twice because like, oh my god, I can't believe I fucked that up. And like, you carry that shame with you for weeks. Like, nobody else is like judging you for it because like it happens, but like, if you're doing QC and you like care about your job, like, you carry that for so long. Oh, I still get shivers thinking about that because it was stupid because I should have known better and I didn't. Oh, just yeah, I have, like I said, you work hard to be right. When I actually did like machining and stuff like that, like every so often bad stuff would come out. I actually broke a machine accidentally because I tried to move it while it was still in a hole, and that did not go well. Because this was back when I was like first getting on machines too. They had basically plucked me from doing like sweeping, and it was like, here, you're gonna watch this machine now, and here's the process if anything goes wrong for you to fix it and do it. Well, dumbass me had gotten my order of operations wrong when I was putting the machine. So the machine had to be stopped in order for stuff to happen. And so then what you do is you just go into the code and you find out where it leaves off, where it's got an XY coordinate and can do everything, and you just set that. The thing I had forgotten to do was I had forgotten to pull it out of the fucking hole. So that sucker moved to the side while spinning, and it did not go well. I still have, because I kept that tool, I still have a chamfer tool, which is bent at a 35-degree angle at the middle, and it is somewhere in my stuff, because I kept that as a totem to remind myself to double check where the fuck you are in the program. And it never happened again. Fire more QC guys because they want to be yes men and my employees not do their job. Value is what's just really learn. Yeah, you have to want to learn. Like, if you don't care, like, you're just gonna breeze through that. But like, if the employer cares, and I kind of think that I cared, like, that is like, oh, you want to just like rip your own face off because you're like, I can't believe that I let that by. And you feel like, at least for me, I felt like such this weight of responsibility, like I had let everybody, because I did let everybody down. And if you don't have that feeling when you screw up in manufacturing, it may not be the right job for you. Honestly, if you don't have that feeling in whatever job you're doing, it may not be the right job for you. You might want to look for something that is going to build that feeling in you. Because the alternate is also true. Like, when you ace an inspection super fast, you made sure, because like the part came to you late because there were other problems going on down the line, and you go through line by line and you work everything out and you fix and you notice all of the problems, and maybe one or two pops up where like this hole hasn't been threaded deep enough, and you go in and you do that on your own, and you have that sucker already set up on the pallet for the guy who's showing up in the next 10 minutes. You feel like a fucking superhero. Oh, it was. I have many great memories of that too. Because it was like, yeah, we need to ship this part today, so that's got to be done. And it's like, yes, sir. And you go through your inspection. You can't rush. You have to be thorough. and you are thorough, and you correct minor problems that you can. Thread depth tends to be a common problem. It's not a huge deal, because you just then go in and you hand chamfer it. Sometimes it can be really annoying if there's a lot of holes, and sometimes you just take it back to them and you say, hi, you fucked with your thread depth, you do it. So send me your resume. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Racing frames and engines, if you mess with them, you lose millions. Figure out how to change a saw blade and no metal saw was quite happening. Almost up in my hand and the sucker sprang at me. Yeah. Alright, Pyro, who's up? To my YouTube people, I do apologize. I know you come for game, not for TRX story hour of his old job.
On the move, full speed.
But I got carried away. Bomb him! Oh, he's got a heavy gas rifle. Oh. That's a really interesting question of who's the more dangerous one, the ultra autocannon or the heavy gas rifle. The heavy gas rifle deals more theoretical high damage, but the ultra autocannon shoots twice. Go wrong if you ain't right. Then you're... I'm playing Mass Effect Legendary. It's pretty good. Nice. Glass capacitor gave me a moment with God. It's K-pop supposed to love it. YouTube doesn't. YouTube despises me. This is untrue. We have a really great community. I do appreciate all of you. That we can just like chat and hang out and have a good time. I appreciate that. I'm not gonna be able to get on top of you, unfortunately. Gonna take another couple of turns, but supercharger on, rush on forward. Let's see if we can't take out the Hollander before he actually gets a chance to do anything funny. If he's got an XL engine, we got him, but if not, then this probably won't work. Yep, he had an XL engine. Gravity has given me many moments with God. Well, I was a YouTube person and personality, and also important to so keep going.
Yep.
The thing that I had to teach myself about YouTube was just ignore it. Ignore the pressure that you want to put on for yourself, because it's not your job. It's something fun that you do for a community. And well, to be 100% honest, I don't think I'd mind it if it were my job. Like, you can't get in the headspace of... You can't get wrapped up in your own head on that. There are people who chase subscribers. And I've seen those people in small channels that are really cool and have a really interesting thing, but they chase subs. And they chase them so hard and they judge themselves so much by them. And there's actually a channel that I really enjoyed. It was called Zombly. And it was this guy who was doing Strike Fighters 2 videos, which at the time I was in Japan and so had no access to absolutely none of my simulator stuff. And so I couldn't play it, but I was enjoying his mercenary playthrough. But he was so focused on turning it into his work first and foremost above all other things that it ended up just eating at him so much that he couldn't take the pressure anymore. So he ended up like showing up again a little bit for some GTA roleplay stuff as a cop, but always look before you turn right to avoid collision. Lower jumper has the right of way. Now that's an interesting one. But interesting to hear how your life has made me relax from my daily routine. Interesting. I appreciate that my God, I don't know. I do not want to call it Pearls of Wisdom because it's like not. Caldari Capsuleer is a new follower. Thank you. I used to play Caldari. Not for long, but I did play them. And God, I wanted the Raven battleship so much. The stealth missile battleship. But I was like not willing to play that hard. The size alert. Okay, we're just gonna mess with everybody who's in this little group here and see what ends up happening to them. Oh, that was good, and that will be less good. Gravity always wins. Yes, gravity always wins. This is 110% fact. You will eventually run out of fuel, but gravity will always exist. The jumper thing is because the canopy occupies a volume of air and will make a little vacuum. Oh! Huh! Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah. The lower air pressure because you're going down because you're scooping up all that air. Yeah, I like, that makes perfect sense, but I can't believe I never thought of it. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense then. You want to avoid that sink. Otherwise, you're going in it. If you're chasing subs, then you're risking changing everything that makes the channel great. It's also kind of you're putting the cart before the horse on that one. Like, the subs will come or they won't. You can't force people to want to watch you. You can only be yourself and hope that they think that's interesting. Which, you know. Let's see. So if you go to another jumper, you will literally slide underneath them and your canopy opens underneath them. Playing Iron Man and ran into the clans with respect to the industry. The clans can be nasty, but if you can beat them, you can get some amazing gear. Ow. Oh, you pinged me, you dick. Also, if you ever played Space Engineers, you will understand to not attempt to climb when it comes to bending the rules of physics. You literally leapfrogged all the way to the ground hard. It's the little things that kill you. Because the big things you're looking at, but that little thing, yeah, you're in trouble. You might be in range for E1 to go smash over the head with the big axe and claws. It's a combination of weapon systems that is very entertaining. Fire starter, yeah, we're gonna go for the person with arms, I think. I don't know what the accuracy we're gonna be looking at is. That's a charge, it's a 42%. That may be setting you up for failure, I don't know. That's also 42%. And one charge intuitive is just gonna be a miss. Hoping to be a little bit closer on this one. 48%. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay. I'll throw the 42 just for the giggles. But I'm not going to blame anybody if it misses. Getting out of here. Yeah, I figured. It's part and parcel, especially on night jumps where you can't see shit. Dirt. Hello, lowbrow. Welcome to the stream. And you don't know over someone until it's light. That would be really cool, and also I imagine pretty scary. Yeah. The thing that I noticed that is a sign of all good channels, and I've actually been screwing this up as of lately, is consistency. Fortunately, I have been astonishingly inconsistent with my YouTube uploads, which is not a good thing. I should do something about that. Alright, we're eventually going to kill this guy. Eventually we shall break him. 16. What do you got? The ultimate tackle, I'm sure a football player would approve. Power fairing, living on the edge. Always living on the edge. If we're not on the edge, then we're digging the new cliff. It's terrifying, especially even no moon visibility, because you have no idea where the ground is. Yeah. 2R, I already flipped the Mako on new physics. Oh, you're not using classic physics? Aw. At least you stream consistently? I do try that, but I do feel bad that, like, I don't have it set up so it's properly putting out YouTube videos every day. Like, it puts a gap in, which is not fair to the guys on YouTube. I love you, YouTube guys. I understand. I know you're angry. Your rage and anger will feed me to be better. 0.9%. Nailed it! Look at that. That's beautiful. Both of you end up popping your rulers and praying. One thing I want to do is paramotoring. I think that would be so cool. Because at this point, like, I'm probably never going to get a pilot's license. I'm a little bit too old for that. But, like, a paramotor license, you don't need one. Basically, you're strapping a giant fan to your back, standing underneath the sail, and you fly. Got a Baltimore artillery. Still love us some YouTube? Yeah, poor YouTube people. I promise I'll put it up. Although you may not get Wednesday's episode. I may lock that in a vault and never look at it ever again. Wednesday was embarrassing. I have so much artillery. Nobody to shoot it at because they're all too close. Boop. And... okay, please stop trying to kill the Atlas. I need to keep him alive. We had some guys do that here until they had to be retrieved from the power lines. Woof. That's pretty nasty. It's easy to go up cliffs in the Mako because of the boost they added in. Nice. Wait, so they don't give you the boost if you're playing on old physics? Oh. I remember I went to every single planet to find every single thing that I could. And boy, did it take a long time. What happened Wednesday? Nothing. Nothing happened Wednesday. Wednesday was completely normal with nothing going for it. Because, like, what are you trying to do? Fire missiles at me, you punk? I'm gonna break you. Alright, Ifrit is done murderizing back here, so Ifrit will pull up to start helping murderizing up here, I suppose. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to hit those guys accurately. So I will content myself with shooting at you. Oh wait, no, you have Bomb Rack Inferno. Shoot, I should have gotten closer. If I miss, I will hit the Atlas. That's not acceptable to me. Because cooking the Atlas is not going to work out well in the long run. Come on, give me the guy on the ground. Thank you. Shoot his center torso. Caseless, sure, why not? Boom. Less than nothing this Wednesday, my birthday. Sweet. Time for some bombs. We ran a training video. Atlas has CSM it wants heat. Yeah, but it doesn't want so much heat that it cooks itself to death. There's a line there. Fairly narrow line, but it is in fact there.
Copy there.
Ooh, that looked good. I need more long time ammo. Just different ammunition types. Remember having slightly? I hacked. Which didn't work, so I could see what happened. I mean, technically, the VOD is there, but, like, I don't recommend it. Stop monarching me! Blacked out at Needs Party? Ah.
Ready for orders.
Light carrier, just continue to work. Gotta go carefully. Steadily, but carefully. Okay, so you actually did hit him center torso, so that's pretty impressive, all things considered. When you consider the general effectiveness of the accuracy when we're calling shots, it's not bad. Oh, we're through. Through his armor. He got hammered, having fun. We did get hammered. We got absolutely obliterated. And then the game crashed. Which, you know, that's not a great look. Big iron. Not gonna touch me. You've got nothing. You're a pathetic excuse of a light bulb. And I'm going to break you. 23, that's not good. I need more. Or, you know, I can go and kill him. I think I'm gonna make sure. We're gonna make sure that we finish off everybody as we work. So, on the ground. Kill him, Antonides! Yes! Ow him!
Tango down.
Will you get a smoke mortar ammo to... So the chance to hit debuff?
Yep.
I don't intend to get smoke mortar rounds. Mainly because I like to be able to see my targets.
All right.
And smoking myself does not help that. Maybe for the Atlas. But even then, I'd be a little bit hesitant to try.
I'm taking the shot.
Ooh. Oh. Not bad. I'll take it. I don't have much choice, but I'll take it. Maximilian! Firing my effort. This needs to end immediately. That effort is coming and it is going to kill you. You just haven't realized it yet.
I get you.
Strider! Kill him. Kill the Strider. Let him suffer. Okay, that was not the Strider. But at least the arrows are being somewhat accurate.
I'm out of LRM.
You have Infernos. It's great. Okay, turn off that. Oh, you got knocked down? Oh, whoops. You may have fallen over when bombs were dropped.
Back in action.
Come over here. Really? I'm not in range to do it? Jerks. We're gonna do this. And we're just gonna brace so that we're in a nice, beautiful position at the start of the next round. Does anyone know if MechWarrior 5 has an online mech lab? No, it does not. Like, vanilla doesn't, because vanilla is so incredibly simple that it's frustratingly painful. And it makes me want to scream. But whoever thought of the vanilla mech lab in MechWarrior 5 is a sadist, and I don't like you. Oh, there goes your arm. He might end up kicking me now, though, which will be an unfortunate side effect of having possibly taken his last weapon. Oh, no, he still has the narc. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. No worries. You can use the MechWarrior Online various MechLab tools if you want. That'll give you a better idea for certain mods. No, seriously, the whole idea of dumbing down the MechLab, both in this game and in MechWarrior 5, is stupid. Don't do it. Like, you can keep the concept simple, but you gosh darn better make sure that there is depth to that. And by dumbing down the MechLab, you're removing all depth. So please don't do that. I'm not going to bomb you because you're too close to him. You're just going to chill. Light Carrier, however, does not have this problem. Light Carrier may do whatever the heck it wants, as it will show up and fire at multiple targets and murder them. Oh, that's incredibly high accuracy for mortar. Look at that, hitting for 10 damage plus the splash. Love it. Give it. There we go. I want to see if I have a direct shot. I do. Oh, somebody's about to get arrowed. Switch over to guidance. We don't get to use guidance very often. 69% accuracy is about the best I can hope for. Oh, but he took it. Beautiful. Which begs the question, when MechWarrior 5 comes, are we grabbing mods? The first playthrough is going to be vanilla. The ones after that will be more modded once the mods start catching up again. But the first ones will definitely be in vanilla. It is an unfortunate side effect of, you know, the world. Rayarn, you're technically not rated for him, but if it's all you can see, then I will help out. Yeah, it's all you can see. Ooh, nasty. Do you feel like MechWarrior 5 will be worth it, worth the money? If you're playing with friends, there is fun there. The standard caveat, of course, being that a significant portion of that may just be the fact that your friends are fun people and you like to hang out with your friends. So keep that in mind. The game is definitely not... The game has some problems with it. Basically because of the attempt to dumb it down. Let's not potentially blow up the supercharger on the last turn. So, I can't give it a ringing endorsement, unfortunately, yet. I haven't played the new DLC. I don't know if that changes things tremendously. But when we played it, if I didn't have friends, I wouldn't keep playing it. Yeah, it's fairly stupid and you will likely get hit by landsmates. Yep. Yeah. 24% was not good enough to risk an entire throw on, unfortunately. I tried. Unfortunately, this is not working out. Come back over here, fire an AC-20 into his back. Heck, Warlord, just for that extra little oomph. You don't actually have a weapon that is capable of hurting me. And now you're dead. Beautiful. Alright, that took a little while. So when we found the artillery is king of the game. Yeah, with the modded artillery, you could just annihilate everything. That infantry to the game, it's going to be a lot of fun to deal with. I don't really know how much of an impact infantry is going to have. They are slow. And, like... I got machine guns. On some mechs, anyway. It doesn't seem like it's a massive inclusion. May have to grab it then. I'm going to need some folks to play with, though, and none of my friends are into BattleTech. Son is, though. Oh, that's nice. And it's got crossplay, so you can play on, like, I think Xbox, Epic, GOG, Steam, and the Super Game Pass thing, which is also there as an option. All right, what do we get? How much money did I actually make after breaking everything? 1.2 million minus repair costs, which I think repair costs were fairly light. E1 unfortunately did suffer an injury from his fall down, which we will get patched up as soon as we can. Wow, that's incredibly kind of you, but I already have 20. And I have 9 of those. I really don't need a 10th. The C3 system, though, I will keep. Wow, I've got 6 of them. Never mind. You can sell that, too. That'll hopefully pay for our... That will pay for our thingamabob. Repairs. See, that Atlas has a nice contingency to learn. Yep. I'm excited for Beachhead. They said it's a procedurally generated mission set, so theoretically it could be some interesting gameplay. And I'm a little bit down on the game right now just because I haven't played it in a while, so like I don't have that initial burst of like enthusiasm for it that you would otherwise normally get for a game that you are like actively playing at the time. Yeah, this. So let's go back. Over here. I'm afraid you need a pilot for it. Yep. I have asked people who are interested in joining us for our MechWarrior 5 campaign to PM me. I have also been PMing back people who have said that they're interesting, that, hey, I want to play games with you. I want to, like, hang out, chat in an informal setting. So I'm going to try and be on Discord more often, just playing games, hanging out, having a good time, having a talk. So don't know what games people have, and, like, it's been a while. So... But that is basically the thing. I just want to make sure that we kind of mesh on stream. Because people can be great people, but sometimes like the personalities don't bounce off of each other, right? What? It's a 5-day repair job. Not fair. All right, I have enough stuff in order to actually, honest to God, build it. So I think it's time to start designing the Warhammer 2C properly. Like, we know what we want to do with it, but I'm still not 100% on the... Still not 100% on the various things. All right, give me turret mounts. Oh, wait, no, I said no turret mounts, because, right. I'm going to put you CT just so I have you out of the way for now. And we're going to put on your main support weapons first. Although, actually, no, because it's gonna track it from what I put on first, so we'll start with your hags. Hag. Hag. Streak off, please. Energy. Medium improved heavy lasers. There it is. Uno. Dos. Tres. Cuatro. Pharaoh is off. Switch over to standard light Pharaoh. I wonder if there's a clan light Pharaoh, and if it takes up fewer slots, because that would be pretty helpful. I've not seen any. Need Steam Friends, 2C games. I'm up for a bit of another. What did you do to make? Yeah, it's just light damage. Nothing too serious. Awesome, and thank you. I'll just have to get a game when available on Steam. Yeah. Twin Gauss, need the ammo for it, which is all of the ammo that I can manage. You can there. You can go there. Gauss ammo all the way down. That's heavy Gauss ammo, no thank you. Hyper Gauss double in the one side. And then the last extra ton, that gives me 11 rounds of shooting on this. Need to then come into the missile launcher. Weapon. Launcher. IATM-6. Ammo. DM. IATM-ER. Or not ER. High explosive. That's it for guns. Okay. So now comes weight and slot saving. Internals, we need to go with a prototype heatsink kit, as well as an extra prototype heatsink, because I've got one. You can stop spinning now. Thank you. Fix that. Engine, Clan XL. Gives me 3 tons left. I guess we plowed all of that into armor. Well, I might be able to put in a larger gyro. Let's see if I can throw in an XL. Oh, I can, and that'll max out my slots. That gives me 5 tons to do whatever I want. Oh, why didn't I think of this before? Oh, I need my specialist equipment as well, so we need the Exchanger clan and the Heatbank clan, and that gets me up to my heat control of 70 for 96, which is 26, but that's doable. Is this going to have any armor? It's going to have 5.5 tons extra armor, because we are going to make this sucker work. She is going to stand a line, and she's going to take damage. Max armor. Oh, it did it. Well, mostly. Gosh darn it, game, why do you do this? Ooh-wee. Max that out, and then we're going to trim very lightly from the back. Because theoretically, they shouldn't be getting back here. Give myself whatever remaining. Oh, it's 101, okay. Will they ever fix the max armor button? I have no idea why it breaks in the first place, so I can't give any sort of intellectual response to that. Okay, so I am also going to need a system. We're going to want a sensor tracker or a Recce sensor if I got it. Sensor recon, because sensor recon also has a low tier jamming system in it, which will make it a little bit less likely to get shot at. The tracker, I believe, might have a more powerful one. No, it doesn't. Okay, so the sensor recon is what we want. Sheath beacon, unfortunately, it doesn't fit unless I remove the XL gyro, which I do not want to remove. So, unfortunately, that's not going to be a thing unless I have something removed, which I don't plan to, because I need the heat control as much as I can. Sentinels are a similar problem. The question now becomes, do I want to focus on the ballistics, or do I want to focus on the energy? And frankly, it's going to be the ballistics. So it'll give me a +2 accuracy on that one. I don't think I have a Gauss rifle one. No. So that'll give +2 accuracy to my Gauss rifles, which should be nice. Cockpit obviously can't be a torso mount because we have the torso stuffed with all the things. Gunner support B for a little bit of extra oomph. And ooh, I could put a Predator in here. I think I could put a Predator in here. Do I still have a Predator? I thought I had one. Is the Predator a cockpit or a targeting system? I forget. Battle suite, gunner support B, slick suite, spiked helmet, vehicle basic. Artemis, breaching, energy accuracy, machine gun multi-track, fire control system, nope. And sheath beacon, recon, sensors, mist range, sensor SLE. It's an FCS? Am I just missing it or did I already use it? I don't think I used it. I'm not seeing it. No, I must have used it. Alright, cockpit needs to be something, possibly a slick suite. I like slick suites, but a comm would not go awry. Like, I like the sensor range that comes with the slick suite. Also the +1 initiative and the modifier to tactics. But the combo array will give me a +1 to tactics as well, but a +3 resolve gain per action, which means faster. Checklist, flip, Mako check. Got it through that pesky block on the third comes. Welcome back, Humongous. I think we're slick suite is selfish. Oh no, it's a +1 to all land space. Okay, slick suite it is. Ba-boom. And nothing more can be patched onto this thing. Like, it is all 100% ground down to as tight a mech as I can make it. So, the current bit leader is, well, technically, it's, I think might be E1, but Urando, do you want to name this thing? Either Urando or E1 gets to name this monster mech that we're finally building using all of my hags, which will hopefully not die immediately, and will hopefully be cheap. Cheap is the big thing. I want it to be inexpensive enough that I can actually field it whenever I feel like it, and that is an important piece of the puzzle to bring together in this one. I think we are cramming in a lot of firepower into a fairly narrow chassis, which is of course good. That's exactly what we want. Figured exactly what I'm doing with it. Welcome back, Ruby. I have no names to give if I ever come up with one on your right. Oh, already. Do you really think the ATM is necessary? I love my additional ATMs. They're doing what, like 12 damage per missile shot, so they will hit pretty hard in adding an additional amount of damage. Besides, I don't know what I'd swap them out for. Like, I have armor. I could remove the gyro and the light ferro armor, I suppose, but it works pretty nicely. I think it works pretty nicely. There's nothing else I can put on it, really, because I'm filling up the 2 main ballistics, I'm filling up all 4 energy slots, and I've got one of my 2 missile slots filled. The only thing else, I suppose, would be an AMS. I don't think I have... Do I have an integrated laser AMS? I don't think I do. Because that might be worthwhile, but I do not believe I have it. Just an AMS clan and a Mark II. No laser AMS. Laser AMS would feel much more comfortable. Or any other options like heatsinking and other gear. We only have 1 prototype double heatsink, so I can't throw on more. I just don't have the parts for it. Did you guys get another hype train? We did. We went to a level 5. Alright, well, I'm just going to build it then since no one's naming it. And we shall move on. Here we go. The next generation fighting machine. The Warhammer will conquer all. This is a very different Warhammer to what I've built before. It's a ballistic Warhammer, which is just weird when you stop to think about it. Most Warhammers not really designed with that concept in mind. We need to wait a few days, let our people chill. We are of course out of money again, but that's kind of how things work. That is an acceptable problem. Hey, training module. Order E1 to practice until he recovers. Congratulations, you got 50 experience. You and Gemroth had a nice little duel. Big Brother's in 2 days. Should I do it? To get all of my atlases on the field? Yes, I'm going to do it. 1, 2, stop. Oh, Big Brother's done. We have both of our atlases. I didn't see what you put on it. It's twin Hag 30s, 4 heavy mediums, and an ATM 6. Oh, improved ATM 6. Alright, both of the atlases are done. That is Big Brother. Big Brother is designed more as an Overwatch sort of mech. And he comes equipped with Did they finally get Darius to shut up? I mean, kind of. Twin large super lasers and a Luger and an MRM-60 in case you ever want to try and get close to it, which I do not really recommend. BattleTech Advanced optics and an exchanger just to round out the pain that it's going to be dealing out. Oh yeah, it's very simple design too. Stabilized ultralight gyro, standard armor on the exterior for nice cheapness. This ought to be nice. And then it pairs, of course, with Red-Headed Child, which is not as simple. Red-Headed Child was designed with a bit more oomph in mind. It's very much punchy bot. All right, we are going to put a cut in here for the YouTube people. So to my YouTube people, thank you very much for watching. I have been Tyranny. If you like what I'm saying, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see the notification every single time I post one of these videos. Press that little bell icon. Leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.